Good morning, good love, good day to this galactic gathering. And thank you, all of you, for being here as we share this 1111 Gateway energy today on July 11th in 2018, as we've got 7-11-11. So I'm very excited today to be sharing this galactic gathering with all of you and these beautiful, beautiful women that I have come to know over the last just a short time and a long time, respectively, specifically due to and because of the languages of light or light languages. And so there was a million things I wanted to share as the introduction. So I'm just going to let my spirits move me because there's so many exciting things I want to say and share. So first of all, I'm Wendy. If this is the first time you've ever been here, my name is Wendy Wolf, and I hesitate to even label myself as I am this and I am that because I'm just like everybody else. And one thing in my life led to another. And one day I ended up in a hangout with people speaking light languages, and my life changed forever. And here I am today. And so I want to thank all of you for being here. And if you're here, it's because your energy, your higher self, your frequency has brought you here today. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to start with a blessing, but let me just begin by saying that I wanted to thank, first of all, Bree. Bree I met through light languages, and she had been watching my videos, and one day we discovered that we lived an hour away from each other, and we're very fortunate to meet in person. And from that moment on, truly both of our lives changed. And what I've found especially in the last week, having spent more time with Sal and Dolores, and we'll get into how we met and all that, I've discovered the intricate woven timelines that each of us shares. And we all have, definitely, as you can see behind me, I've got loving pyramids. So we've got this pyramid energy today, this idea of the 1111 gateway portal, higher learning, ascension, finding out who we are. But I wanted to say firstly that thank you, Bree and Dolores and Sal, because it takes a lot of courage to do what we do here, to put ourselves out there. I know how nervous that you've been, and I was there, I know, and even Bree, I remember talking to her and before she even started speaking light languages and thinking, no, I'll never do that. And then before she knew it, she was, hosting events and one thing led to another and just speaking fluently light languages. So first of all, I'd like to just say hello to Bree. And I think what I'll do is I'll greet each of you individually because I'm hearing that I'd like to do like a kind of a quick light language blessing to open it up for the moment, to kind of gather our energies and connect with our audience. Thank you, all of you, for being here and watching. I want to thank you all for your love, your comments, your energy, your just everything that you give me on a daily basis, and just knowing you're out there and sending your love and energy for all of us is very supportive as all of us come out of our shells and come out of the proverbial spiritual closets and wonder a year later or 2 years later or 3 years later, right, Bree? What were we so worried about? What were we so afraid of? But you know what, you guys, the fear is real. We came here to experience real stuff, and fear's one of them. And so today I felt like here I am tingling again, you guys. I felt like today was about breaking through this gateway of fear, about really coming into who we are and recognizing, standing in our light and our power, because really that's what we came here to do. And, we hear this every day on the internet from all of these channelers and spiritual people, but what does it really mean? And it means what do I do with this information that I'm getting about myself and all these amazing connections? But how is it serving me now? What is it doing for me now? What do I do with this magnificent energy and information I'm finding out about myself? And isn't that the ultimate question? So, Bree, greetings, Bree. Now, Bree and I met just a couple, God, what's it been now? 2-3 years now, Bree?
Like 2.5?
Yeah, and it just, but again, it feels like a lifetime. I was just talking to my buddy Alicia. Alicia, if you're out there watching Temple Beautiful, she said the same thing. She said, wow, it's like we've been Facebook friends for a year, but it feels like we've known each other forever. And that's how it felt the day we met. Nia soto shami Ilea kasono tasibile halo goya sotshe li ila kisa taikila kiana.
Kiti to shigere to so nana ya kiti out of shande tawa. Thank you, Wendy. I'm so happy to be here. I really am. The universe conspired to get me here today in a nice controlled environment where I was able to help out, and I really feel very blessed. And I want to mention the absolute hilarious synchronicity in Sal being here as well. This is my first time actually meeting Sal, and I was going to tell you, but we had like 0.5 seconds to say hello. But like I was going to tell you, Sal, that I don't know how many months ago, it easily could have been 4 or 5 months ago or something, I was going to add you on Facebook. And sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was going to add you on Facebook, and I was like, oh, wow, I should add this lady. She's like a DJ, and she's out over in it's the UK, right? Or Europe? UK. Yeah. And she's like doing all this amazing stuff, and she had contact with these galactic beings. Now she's speaking light language, and she looks so cool. And then I didn't. And now all of a sudden I'm moderating a webinar. It's my first time meeting you. And this is the
because I told Bree too. I said I think you probably already know these ladies because you know the irony of it all is that Bree was the one who added me to the Light Language Colony Facebook group, and that's not how I met these guys. I met them prior to that, but it's just kind of funny how we all are.
Funny. Yes, and I had not met Dolores until I was in that Facebook group when we were doing the hangout and everything, and I only went in like once or twice. But anyway, so I wanted to say hello and thank you, and you know, we're just looking forward to like high vibes and good stuff today. I'm glad, Wendy, I'm glad you're talking about being our true authentic selves, and this is being revealed to me more and more every single day, and I am slowly peeling off the layers, and we don't even know how many layers we have.
I still am. I was peeling off the layers this morning, you guys.
Yeah. I know. I get it. It's like, it like has seeped so far into us, and it's like one revelation after another that allows us to peel them off. And we do have to just be true to ourselves. And if something does not feel good, if something does not feel right, like, why do I have to do it that way? Why can't I just do it my own way? Well, then do it your own way. Don't you know, have somebody, you know, be afraid of like what people are going to think or say, because it's all you, you know, it's all you. And this is part of the light languages that is blowing my mind more and more, is how it is literally the doorway to our true authentic selves. It's the portal. You know, speaking these languages is like a portal into your soul. That's how I feel about it. And
that's a really, really good way to put it. It really is. And Bree and I experienced some interesting things with the light languages the one night that, and I've said this in a couple of hangouts with her, that the one night that we met and she said she could see colors coming out of my mouth as I was speaking the light languages. Now, we were in a dark parking lot, you know, with glowing lights. I mean, it's literally a McDonald's parking lot. So, you know, it was quite an experience that day, just for me, especially because this was the very first time I actually spoke light languages with another human being, that, I mean, in person. And it was, for me, I'm seriously buzzing right now, because it was a really incredible experience for me. And I had been doing this in these hangouts for quite a long time by the time I met Bree. And I already had my YouTube channel. That's, you know, how we met. But I still had not experienced that feeling. And as strong as it is, and we cannot deny the strength even in these hangouts and how we can reach people all over the world. I've cried when I've listened to people's light languages. They've done the same with mine. I still do. But again, I want to mention something that we spend so much time comparing ourselves to others. And each one of us whether you're speaking light languages or not, or whether you're doing something else in the world, if we spent a fraction of the energy into believing in ourselves and the fact of our uniqueness, rather than the energy we spend in comparison, that we would be leaps and bounds ahead of where we can be in our own awakening process. Because I find that myself. Don't you guys find that comparison is paralyzing, that you will talk yourself out of something before you even start? And they wanted, who was it that said to me, I can't even remember if it was Sal or someone else, said to me recently this week about something about there's so many other, maybe something like there's so many other people doing this sort of thing or whatever. But you guys, how many restaurants are there? And then you say, okay, out of all those restaurants, how many of those restaurants serve the same kind of food? However, you choose the ones that you like based on a lot of things: the frequency of the people that work there, the menu itself. How does it feel when you walk into the establishment? They could have exactly the same food. Let's say Mexican. Let's call it Chinese. I live in America. We have everything here. I could eat any kind of food from anywhere in the world. But the point is, you can have 6 Chinese restaurants next to each other, but you're only going to go to certain ones. Each one of us has a very unique and frequency for a reason. There are particular people that I will resonate with or not. There are channelers that I resonated with that I don't anymore. There's channelers that I first started watching that I don't need to watch anymore because I've received what I needed. Discernment, discernment, discernment. Bree and I have had a relationship filled with discernment about trusting. And how many times have I said to her, I don't need to know why I don't want to do, or why that person, that thing doesn't resonate with me. All I need to know is it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or all I need to know is it does.
Yeah, we can let that. That's it's so freeing when you realize that you don't have to dig in deep to everything and figure out why, but how did that happen? But how did those particles of energy come together and form that certain situation? It's like, once we get that it's all happening, and we're just like doing all of this to experience and for the soul growth and stuff, you don't have to dig into why, because do you really want to know why? Because sometimes you don't. When you find out, it's like, I kind of just trusted my gut.
And can we even wrap our minds around the why? Really? I mean, we meet each other, and even Sal and I this last couple of days were, well, oh my God, we're connected to this, we're connected to that, and oh my God, and the excitement and the frequency, the reason you're experiencing this, so you can raise your vibration and your awareness of who you are. And then don't we find the need to integrate it then? It's like being on the roller coaster, guys. You go up and you get excited, and you get that thing and you go, oh my God, I can talk to Michael, Archangel Michael, or I felt him, or I channeled him, and oh my God, I felt this connection, and I saw myself as, I was just going to say a reindeer. I have no idea why reindeer came to my head, except for the fact that now I do, because reindeer, actually, if you guys look it up, the shaman, and isn't it funny how we use Santa Claus with reindeer? I was thinking about Santa Claus this whole thing this week. Maybe that's why this came up, because the reindeer are actually the symbol for the shaman to actually go to the spirit world and bring back the information. So isn't it interesting that we use Santa Claus as a means of, how does he do that all in one night, where he can reach everything all at one time, and all the children get everything all at once? And for those of you know the Santa Claus story, but the idea is, that they're visiting every child, and if you're good, you will get your gifts. Well, isn't good just meaning trusting in what you're putting out there, that I asked for that pair of roller skates and I'm going to get it? Isn't it just a metaphor for manifestation and believing? I bought this plaque the other day in the little Amish store. I bought one that says believe, and I bought one that says, oh, where'd it go? Anyway, I've got them all over the place. Be grateful. Because sometimes we come into this 3D world and I mean, we have a 3D day where we're going, okay, I'm anything but grateful for this experience right now. I really don't want to be doing this. But we have to believe that on a higher level, we've been chatting. There's not one of you in here or anywhere that any of you that are watching out there that I've had more people tell me recently, I've been dreaming about you. So we've all been talking in these astral states. And so it's like you meet someone in the even on the internet. I call it 3D because to me, this is our 3D, right? So let me back up a little bit then to, when was it? The spring. It was in March. We did, Guillerme and I, Bastos, decided to do this light language global gathering and to just get all of the people all over the world and just get together and just talk about light languages. And so if I'm not mistaken, that was the very first time that I had ever been in contact with either of you, right? Sal and Dolores. And so we meet in this global gathering and the connection was like palpable. It was so immediately strong. Now there was a lot of people in that gathering, so we did not get a lot of chance to interact that day, like closely. So it was shortly thereafter that I was in a hangout with Mike Giannetti on in his Facebook group, and he invited me into one of his light language hangouts, and Dolores was in, Dolores was in that hangout. See, I'm already getting chills again. Dolores was in that hangout, and again, I don't know what happened, but it was as if I met a very, very ancient soul sister, someone that was so powerful that she reminded me of my own power, that she reminded me of the work that we have been doing on a higher level, that just listening, see, my whole crown chakra right now is just freaking tingling right now, because it's those moments that change our lives. When you make that connection, there's everything changes within me. It's like my physical body, light being, awareness of who I am and what I am has completely changed. And when we go through this integration and we weep and we cry in these tears of passionate joy, because we've experienced something that is so close to what it feels like to remember us being source, that it's as if we can't take it. It takes our breath away. How do you explain that kind of a connection with someone? You can't. I mean, but you can't deny it, but you can't explain it, and you can't prove it. So, but your physicalness proves it, doesn't it? So I wanted to greet Dolores, and maybe you guys will feel it too, that deep connection. And each one of us, and this is the thing, we are connected on multi-levels. Each one of us, like even Bree and I have experienced our Arcturian selves, our Yael selves, our Lyran selves, our Syrian selves. We aren't just one thing. I mean, in our light languages even, and we've even made some first. I think we were the first people, Bree and I, on SoundCloud to actually even do a light language conversation. And I think we were singing and talking. It was in the middle of the night. I don't know.
That was so cool. I love that.
But I think it was like the first time anything had been maybe created like that. You know what I mean? So Miato Shamiera, and each one of us has received a name. And so I wanted to reiterate that too, that Saul, Amanti, Alea. This is a name. We recognize these higher versions of ourselves, and we are given names. Journal, you guys, even if it's just a name, a word, a feeling. You don't need to write a sentence. You don't need to write a paragraph. You don't need to worry about punctuation or that it makes any sense. I have volumes and volumes and volumes of nothing but words, and just letting it flow and letting it flow. These are opening your channels, opening your chakras, allowing the light languages to flow. So I digress. Miyashotoki belihano ko abusotoshoni eunku setashore. Liinaki upusotoshomi liaharakalia sotoshami lehano maliashokea. Lehi kuambo shadio ananio kuapodeshini iwahona onkwa ebiashono te wa ikwamba eshiro. So now I iwa kua setoshana iwa ia ita. It is an honor and a pleasure to greet each and every one of you today. And Dolores, my sister, we continue every day to see each other in each other's meditations, don't we?
Namaste. Mavane kalarama tandane hekeo wa mamahayane. Tionana hetiktelarana mamihio. Venna kationa amana hatioko wa nentalarana nakite. Awa mami hotokori nalarete kera uramaran tokotohoya. Vere ketarn dakelarana he. Thank you. I'm really grateful that I'm here with all of you. Yeah. And you already say almost everything. And what is interesting, and I have to say, is that really, when I first want to go to microgenetic groups, I asked to join, but there were 3 questions for answering. I didn't know what to answer, and I left it. And a few days after, Mike contacted me and asked, why didn't I answer those questions? And I said, I am not sure that I'm speaking light language. I'm not sure. I sent him a link. Yeah, I sent him a link, and he said me, yes, of course.
Yes, of course you.
Why not? And then very shortly after that, there was gathering, and I met you.
And I'm so grateful that we met. And I want to say something too to all of you out there, that we have been having some wonderful conversations this week with these ladies, and about I want to talk a little bit too about reaching out, because I want to thank Dolores too for being here, because she's coming to us from Croatia, and I just want to say really quick, if anybody has any questions or comments out there, Bree's watching the YouTube, and I'm not really paying so much attention to it. That's why I have Bree. So if you guys have questions or comments, go ahead and, let her know. And then she'll just do her best to stop me from talking. I'll turn my chat back on too, to make sure I can see you guys, because I turned my chat off. Sorry. So now I can see if you guys talk to me. Okay. So Dolores lives in Croatia. So Alex, Sasha, my love, if you're out there, please friend her on Facebook.
Alex literally just typed in the chat that he's like, love you guys, gotta go. Unfortunately, he put a heart in. So
shoot, I just missed him.
He might be
okay. So anyway, I should have said it a few minutes earlier. See, my guides keep telling me.
You just tuned into that though, because I was just reading when you said his name. I thought that you were looking at the chat. And
I wasn't, because I can't. I was like, I went to open it on my phone, and I'm like, oh, forget it. It's, because I got to turn, just put my code in again. I'm like, I'll forget it. So, so anyway, I just want to let you guys know, if you have any questions or comments, just let Bree know, and she'll, let me know. But so we were talking about, how do you reach out when you are, especially now here, you would think here in the United States that it would be really easy to, but you know what? Until I met Bree, I had never met anybody, but I was also too afraid to go out and talk about it in the public, And so I recently met a woman here in my neighborhood, and she was the first person in my 3D life that I actually felt comfortable enough with telling her about my channel, about my YouTube channel, and that I speak languages. And she's a yogi, you know, she's a yoga master. She's very spiritual. She meditates, this is just something she's never been exposed to, doesn't really understand it. And I've sent her a little bit of information from what other light language channels that give really good information about what is light language, you know? And so I sent that to her and she thanked me because it gave her an explanation. But back to wanting, you know, most of us feel that we can't reach out in our own neighborhood. And so I did suggest to Dolores to start meetups. Now, even that's a little scary, you know, because, you know, you're meeting somebody for the first time. It's probably a stranger, you know, and typically it's in a public place, you know. Matter of fact, that was the night I met Bree. She was taking me to a meetup, and it was about the speakers about pyramids. And so that's a whole nother thing that I have a feeling that the three of us ladies are going to have to get into in a whole nother hangout about pyramids in general, because the three of us, or the four of us, I mean, are, in addition to my buddy Tammy out there, McInnes, we all need to hang out and talk about the pyramids all over the world and Bosnia and what we need. And I want to say this because I need to say this. So it doesn't matter how we came about this information, how we came to this connection, the experiences and the people that came and went because of this. It doesn't matter, does it, Bree? So the fact is, it brought us together, and that's all that matters, is where we take it from here.
Everything's a gift, yeah?
So everything's a gift. So it was just important that it needed to be said. Read between the lines for whoever needs to. So these connections that we are experiencing, the question is then what do we do with them? So, again, you're at the top of the roller coaster. You find out all this ultimate crap about yourself that you cannot possibly I cannot possibly be talking to angels. Oh my God, I cannot possibly be talking to extraterrestrials. Oh my God, I cannot possibly be hearing the names and Mary, you know. Okay, so here we are the other day hanging out. I'm hanging out with Saul. It was supposed to be, of course, just a couple of minute conversation. Well, you know how that goes. And I'm just getting ready to say, I feel Mary Magdalene in the room. Now, I hesitate, right? Because, again, it's our humanness going. Now, I've spoken to Mary before, and Jesus, and, you know, if I could tell you guys the things that I hear and the conversations that I have and the channeling that I do, even in the shower this morning, again, weeping my eyes out, it's like, you can't believe this is real, but you cannot experience or imagine anything that you're not the vibration of. You can't, it wouldn't even come into your consciousness. Would this have come into your consciousness, 10 years ago? Not for me. So again, trust and believe what you're hearing. Not 2 seconds later, what does Aletheia light say to me? Mary Magdalene's in the room. Right? So you cannot make this up. Now, I told her at the time, I said, we should have been recording this. I said, because nobody believed, but you got to believe, you guys, if you're hearing it, if you're feeling it, it's real for you. And yes, all reality is not real. Okay, we know that. We are consciousnesses. Every time we have a thought, it's not really your own thought. We're tapping into this pool, this stream of complete thought and consciousness where everything exists all at once. And so this is how we can connect. And so we're on the same frequency. And it's been happening to even my partner and I, where we'll be on different floors. And I'm like, what did you just say? Because it was exactly what I was thinking. And just by virtue, and I tell them that all the time, whether you like it or not, just by virtue of being hanging around me, your frequency is going to go up whether you like it or not. So it's just a matter of his own belief systems as far as how far to let him take, but he has zero interest in light languages. So the thing is, you don't have to be, you don't need to be dependent on what anybody else thinks or feels. And it doesn't matter who they are in your family, your children, your parents, your significant others, it doesn't matter what they think or feel about what you're doing for you to do it anyway. And to believe that what you're doing is because this is why you came. If you, just like Bashar said, Bashar was the first channeler I ever listened to. And I was just eating and breathing it, the information and the journaling and writing all this information because they kept telling me at the time, you're going to be teaching this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't do well in front of people. Look at me now. So this is what, here we are. And my dear Sal has been so nervous all week. So I wanted you guys to appreciate what went into this day, this week, this moment for her, for all of us, and how we all came to this and the things that happened to us. And Bree standing up one day and saying, no, your diagnosis of me is unacceptable. No, I don't believe you. That's not it. I'm going to find healing. And she did. And so physical healing. That's what this is about, you guys. It's about remembering. You cut yourself, you bleed, you heal. But guess what? You can heal anything, anywhere, any when. And when we talk about healing, it's about accepting who you are, integrating. Isn't that what healing really is, you guys? Is being whole, holistic, just operating in the knowing that, yep, I am all that. I'm different from you because I need to be different from you. And now it's time for me to start focusing on the difference that I'm supposed to be, not trying to be the same as everybody else.
Can I add something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I have to throw this in here. I had heard maybe 2 years ago or something when we first got involved with, interacting in a spiritual community and people talking about higher expanded consciousness, which you can't find just around the bushes or something, you have to kind of look for it or it'll just drop into your lap. That's a different story. But
true.
I remember hearing a guy saying that he was speaking light language, and I think he said it was a Pleiadian light language. And this was when I was first getting, so a lot of it really? Are you sure? That sounds a little bit far out there, man. But he was saying that he was speaking Pleiadian light language to his friend who had gotten a cut on her hand or something. And he was just and speaking a light language to it, and they were watching it literally heal in front of their eyes. And so a few weeks ago, I was kayaking for the first time, or attempting to kayak. It was really fun. And, I guess
that's another synchronicity, but I'll tell you that later.
Oh, cool. That's exciting. Well, I slammed my my nail on the side of the kayak when I was putting the paddle down to row, and half of my nail bent upwards and it started bleeding. And, I'm out on a lake and I have nothing around me. And I'm like, all right, well, this kind of sucks. And I was wearing this dress and I didn't want to get blood all over the dress. And so I'm like, I'm just going to hold this here and I'm just going to chill on the lake. Luckily, I wasn't in a rush. And I started just looking at and so I was playing a game with myself. Okay, well, I'm out on this beautiful lake. I'm alone. And so I'm talking to my wound and I'm just talking and singing and just kind of being silly and whatever. And I swear to God, the pain stopped. The bleeding stopped. It easily could have been gushing all over my hand because it was pretty I'm glad my nail didn't come off. And it was so empowering for me because we can start off just doing this and being just to see, I'm just going to play around. I'm just going to use my imagination. I'm just going to be silly. I'm just going to be fun with this. I'm not going to judge myself for it. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, what is somebody going to say? Just be silly. Just be yourself. And a lot of times it actually turns into reality. Yesterday I saw 4 dragon clouds in the sky, like clouds shaped like dragons. And I've been hearing a lot about the dragon energy recently.
I saw a dinosaur cloud yesterday, girl.
Oh, Wendy, I'm going to need to see that
Oh
one.
my
I
God.
hope you know. I hope you know.
Oh my God.
I'm going to need to see that one. You know how I am with dinos. But it was so amazing because the person I was with, like, doesn't know anything about this kind of stuff and, you know, opening up. But I'm like, well, you know, the dragon energy is real and there are actually dragons on Earth, you know, and they're just in a higher dimension and we can't see them and people are experiencing and they're coming back in now and they're helping us and assisting us with the ascension. We can connect to them. And if we're manifesting their energy in the sky, then there is a connection, obviously. And so I'm going on and on and on. And I'm realizing, like, I'm talking about the fairies and the dragons and, like, I would have been pretty embarrassed to tell that stuff to somebody who has,
that's
like,
so funny you said that because I found my little fairy. I love making quilts. I haven't in a long time, and I'm not a quilter. I mean, like, master by any means, but look what I came across today, Bree.
Oh, that's
my
beautiful.
Little fairy.
Oh my God, look at that.
And it's just a little, and I made a quilt for my sister, and my sister is very, very fairy too. She's really connected to the fae realm. And so I put this here to remind you guys. So it's funny you said that about fairies, because just something like this, you guys, is a permission slip to say, I invite this part of me to experience this lighthearted, nature loving little being. And I've really been opening myself to the elves and the fae realms and so really funny that you said that about fairies. And my neighbor, the yogi, she's got kayaks, and she said, hey, I got 2 kayaks. You want to buy her a kayak? And I said, well, I've never kayaked before. I said, I'd like to try it. And the interesting part about this, you guys, I've had a bunch of shoulder surgeries. So the very first thing that comes to my head is my limitation. Oh, wait, maybe I can't. And I told her, I said, you know what? No, I'm not telling that story no more. I said, no, that's not me. That is not the person. Her is not me now. I said, I do not want to continue to carry that story with me that, oh, if I do this, it's going to cause me pain. No, no, no. That's what this is about, you guys, becoming aware that you get to choose moment by moment what reality you desire. Now, if I allow my belief system. So when we talk about releasing things that don't serve us anymore, this is what we're talking about. We release the belief system that this moment's connected to this moment. Therefore, I still carry around all of this scar tissue. Take that literally or figuratively. I carry all this scar tissue with me that's going to prevent me from doing my highest excitement. Bullshit. No, it's not. And I stopped myself and I said it to her out loud. I said, I'm going kayaking. Because in the middle of all my other surgeries that I had, I was whitewater rafting. And I thought, you know what? If I could do that when I'm in pain, I'm thinking about with your nail, because believe me, oh my God, smashed hands, legs, you name it, pushing off rocks. Anybody who's been out there actually whitewater rafting, you know. So, and I thought to myself, no. And I thought of my friend Will, which we're going to get into. I thought of my friend Will, unlimit yourself, you know. That's a limiting belief that is not serving me anymore, that I can't go do something I want to do. And that's something brand new for me because I'm limited because of a belief that's something that happened to me in my past, which doesn't really exist, you guys. It only exists if you believe it exists. And if you want to carry that with you, it's okay. But know that you don't have to anymore. That's the self-healing power that the ascended masters have been trying to teach us, that haven't quite grasped yet, because we're too busy comparing ourselves to other people, whether or not my energy is as high as somebody else's. I can channel, or I can do this, or I can do that, or I have this, or I can't put myself out there because I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. There's so many other people out there doing this. What could I possibly have to offer? My God, how many restaurants and stores are there, you guys? You can, I've even noticed this in where I live, very rural. I can go to the same grocery store in this town and this town, and they have completely different things in the store. I will drive out of my way now because that store has got twice as much organic stuff. It's the same store, you guys. So it's about your frequency. So, Sal. So then, how did we end up hooking up again? I was like, I'm completely in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, so it feels like in the last week, months have transpired, right?
Yeah.
Nia soto shomi ilaka soto shomi iwa kosha sotisa pialukia pasoto shewari hina setishinikia. So I think she sent me a message, a private message, and she was and then we were talking about. She said something about Mount Shasta. Lots of things transpired, but she said something about Mount Shasta, and I said, "Oh, my friend Will just went and did all of this trek to all the mountains, and he just came back from Mount Shasta. What a synchronicity!" And I said, "Oh, so did Heather Houston. Heather, if you're watching." I said, Heather's out there, and I think she was or is still at Mount Shasta too. So so I sent her Will's video of him blessing the waters at Mount Shasta, and boom, all these connections started happening for her. And so she's been on this roller coaster this week of, oh my God, I just connected to this. I just connected to that. And you and I are doing this work. You and I are doing this work. We're doing all this work together. And it's like, I knew the three of us were doing all this work together. And then when I talked to Bree, and because it was Bree who, and I, when I first started thinking about doing this hangout today, I was actually chatting with Bree. And I said, hey, I just got the spirit said just to do this light language hangout with a couple of you guys on 7/11 and do it at 11/11. And she's like, yeah, hey, I'm in, she's like, yeah, I'll help. I'll come, So, and that was just like a week or two ago.
Well, when we worked out the time, it turns out that it works out at 5/11 for me, which 5 + 1 + 1 is 7. That's
it was 7. Yeah. So and that was the other thing. So we're like, okay, now we know we have to do this together. And I knew Dolores had to be there. So I was like, okay, I felt like the 4 sisters were coming together again. And then I had to laugh because I put my glasses on and I said, oh my God, all 4 of us even wear glasses. So I'm laughing about that. And then Sal's like, oh, we're going to do this live? What? So, okay. So on purpose, my guides the other day when we were doing our testing of the audio and visual stuff, I said, okay, guys, you want to do a little live kind of prelude to the hangout, because to just get you relaxed, to get in front of the camera, to see yourself. She was mortified when she saw herself in my video because me and my technical prowess forgot to change the video so that when we're talking, it changes. And the poor girl was on the screen the whole time. And she's like, oh my God. I said, well, sink or swim, baby. So here she is. And so thank you. Thank you for walking through the veil of fear, because it's not real, is it? It's now you guys are going to be, look at Dolores. You guys, I put everybody's links in the description, Facebook links, YouTube links. Dolores makes some amazing light language videos. She does such great production. She's got her symbols with it, and she puts music to it, and her it's just such an audio visual experience. And me, I'm just, turn on the camera and turn it off and don't edit, nothing, So here's poor Sal. She's like, I don't know if I could do this live. And so how do you feel now, 24 hours later? Not even 24 hours.
Yeah, no, oh gosh. Well, yeah, breathe. Breathe. Basically.
Free?
I'm breathe. I'm
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's exactly it. You guys, free. You're free now. You're free to fly. You're free to soar. And you know, that doesn't mean that we are not going to have challenges. Do you know how many things I stopped myself from doing on my own YouTube channel because I'm so afraid of what people are going to think or say about this energy that's inside of me that is dying to come out, that I'm so afraid I'm going to scare people away if it's the first video they ever watch of me ever, and they click on my channel and go, oh my God, what was that? I'm never watching her again. So I am human. I go through this every single day. Maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I should do better this. Maybe I should do this. I have hundreds of thousands of photographs that I'm not even using. That I could be doing this and making slideshows. And I guess it's just not my highest excitement, or I'd be doing it, right? So thank you, Sal. Thank you for coming out of your own, walking through the portal, walking through the gateway. Simikia sotoshomi ilako sotoshowilhala. Sinata semira shonodoria iliki sonotoshe. I feel like this is one of the reasons me was like put here to do this, to help people light the fire in them, to see their own light, to walk through the fear, to help them go and be the amazing self they came to be. So thank you for being that reflection for me too.
Thank you. My hands are going crazy with tingles.
I know.
Aso enda kera santa I hit the kaina sumana atisana morsiana sat usanak atai sana watea.
Nishiato somi ilaketia sotopoliesha no kilea oruko sateshe sani iboko sateshla lehina kilia sotopoya ilikia sotose senitila ito kosha morio sotoshe. Every one of us here has come out of the proverbial closet. And, you know, in a lot of ways, you guys, maybe I'm still not living a completely authentic life either, but then maybe I am. I guess it's a perception, right? Because I can say I'm not being completely authentic because not everybody in my family, my immediate family, knows anything about this. Although it's interesting. I was mentioning this the other day to somebody. I've told my family, oh yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. I do events. I do this. I do that. They don't even ask. They don't even ask. Oh, really? Can I watch one of your videos or attend one of your events? They don't even ask. They're just not in the frequency. And it's okay. So does that make me inauthentic, or does that make me more authentic? Because I'm more concerned about doing this because it excites me than worrying about them anymore and that they're going to find me. So each one of us has, I shouldn't say each one of us, but even Bree and I have been in the situation where she and I did a video. I still have that video, Bree. She and I did a video one day, and she was working for an establishment, and she noticed in the video that she had her work shirt on with the insignia of the company. To this day, that video has still not been published. Now, does it matter anymore, Bree? In all honesty, would you care today if that was posted because you had that shirt on, and because she was so worried about what the people where she worked at would think if they saw the video? Now, first of all, what do you think the odds are that they'd see it to begin with? And two, do you think at the end of the day it even freaking mattered?
No. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But
at the time, your fear was real. This is my point, though. We cannot deny. It's easy to say, oh, an ascended person, well, that shouldn't bother you. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that concern and feel was real for her at the time. And I honored it. I knew at the time it didn't matter, and I told her so. But I said, that's fine, honey. If you don't want me to publish it, I have no ego involved that says here, well, I need to publish this. No, it's still sitting on my computer. Maybe one day, if she's fine with it, I'll publish it. So because to me, it was a great video. We had kind of just met, I think, and we were just starting to, do light link. She had just started getting activated actually, and just started speaking light languages. So she was really nervous about this stuff. So yeah, she was really worried that somebody might see it and would jeopardize her job. How many people out there have come to me? I cannot tell you, countless people have come to me and have been worried about that. And even Sal, she's got her own life outside of all of this and is not really happy, excited about the idea of intertwining them, are you? No. It's a real fear. That doesn't make it wrong. And just because we're having an experience that's supposedly only an experience and not real, well, it's still real for us. And it's real enough for us that we're able to tell the rest of the cosmos about how this really feels to be a human and have these real fears. Do you know how much of the cosmos out there does not even understand, has not the vaguest idea of what it feels like to be separated from source? That they don't know their own power and don't know who they are and all their fractals and aren't aware of all of the little pieces and parts of themselves. They look at us and go, how could anyone be so asleep? And don't we walk around looking at other people now, sometimes even judgy? How could you guys still be asleep? You know, and now I've got the whole thing about plastics and this earth and Gaia and how, you know, my whole perception of recycling got shattered because of certain events and things like that in the world. And I thought, you know what, you guys, the answer is not, oh, we'll take care of it. The answer is to change the way we live so we no longer require it. You know, here in the United States, they're banning plastic straws, plastic bags, you know, and so it's about all of this stuff, you guys. It's about living authentically. And even though I recycle all of my trash, I believe it's doing good. I have to believe it's doing good. And because what it does then, we are traveling through billions and billions of multiple potential timelines, moment by moment. And even though the physics of that is way too hard for us to stay in sync with, because it's just too big for us to stay in and vibrate in all the time. That's why we're here. Otherwise, we'd be there because we can't vibrate there all the time here. It's too dense. It's too thick. It's too dark. So every time we go a little higher, we experience what that feels like. It becomes more painful to come back to the reality in which you believe those things anymore. So you literally shift into a whole nother timeline, if you will, a whole nother parallel reality in which the things that you want become true. So instead of me being sad about the situation or putting things out in the world about, you know, banning plastics, and although I do still believe that that should be done, but it's more about putting myself in the vibration of moving into the parallel reality of the earth that I do want to see, where this is under control, where we're making a conscious decision to change how we live, what we eat, how we farm, what we purchase, the packaging, you guys, the packaging. Oh God, we in America are just so crazy. You go into these huge bulk stores and you have I swear to God, you guys, a bottle this big and it's in a package this big that you can't even open because they're too worried about theft. It's like, this is all wrong. So all of this, how does light languages affect all of this? Every time I walk into a store, I speak light languages because I want to move into that place where I'm not doing that anymore. So instead of recycling my plastic bags now that I get at the grocery store, I take reusable ones. And now I've removed the need for me to even purchase those, that they even need to be manufactured to begin with. So that's what I'm saying. And every single thing we do, you guys, makes a difference. Just like me making my sun tea video the other day. I wasn't going to make a video about that. But all of a sudden, my guides say, you know what? This shit's important. You know, this little stuff that we live day by day by day, and the little teeny tiny choices that we make every day are absolutely all part of this. And to speak light languages to my food to purify it. Now, does it work? Yes, because I believe it works. Because I have absolutely, unequivocally, no doubt in my mind or my heart or my soul that it works. Now, that doesn't mean I still won't clean my veggies before I cut them. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I bless it. I say, my body take exactly what it needs from these nutrients and these beautiful colors. But don't allow anything that doesn't serve me, toxicity-wise or otherwise, and allow it to not even touch me or to pass completely right through me. Talking to our plants. I love that you said that, Bree, about healing and about the light languages. Now I speak light languages to my body, asking it when it hurts, what do you need? And when I start speaking the language, the pain stops. The pain literally stops. Now, is it because we're focusing on something else, like breathing through Lamaze, and from the old, breathing techniques through birthing process, is that the reason? Who cares? What difference does it make? I used to think, well, that's fake. How could, that's tricking myself. That's not real. Sure, it's real. It's absolutely real. So sound, we know. Sound heals. We hear the ocean. We hear the rain. We hear the animals. We hear nature. We hear chimes. We hear music. We hear tones. We hear light languages. It affects us. It affects us multidimensionally. It affects our chakras. It affects our very being.
Miwa makintara na nakintelero maya naketea mahio mama toro naka. Mewa matilera nakete hiawana heke yana nakitoya na mahakatelere.
Ya toshamia wukia sotoshe behala koembo satali hamora. Lehira kisiaro sono yara koriambo sonoria shawi hiro go selia. Lahila, leamboro sinori andor she wakaleandose. Samokura shanate. Satya shanatoriamboku. Blala leanoniaka. So, Miatosha Mikilango Diasanote Balehano Guapo Ushato Sipalahana ke Setoshana Diasanote in Wushata Gila Sonateliana.
Asuranata kahanutia namana hatus et an ustai turra anamanas atke hanna numana hatakais ut anasa turre amarahakus annara numere hette nakus an era tikalan hatus an amara utkai emanati tikala hanuta.
And now with my impression of my interpretation of what I was hearing her say, and it's more of an energetic thing, but I was almost hearing her say, in my other life, I love to be loud and I love music, but in this part of me, I'm still learning and I'm quiet and I'm a little nervous but yet I'm ready. I'm ready to walk through this. I'm ready to walk away. And I'm seeing her like she's got this heavy cloak on kind of thing. And I see her like unfastening it and dropping the cloak and like walking out onto the stage and saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to move into the spotlight. And even though I'm apprehensive and I'm worried about what other people are going to think, I'm ready. I'm ready to walk through this door. Ya undega shonore sanari ke wala kose simi sato shonai wala kombari shanatewa hasuna tela sanatesha kiantose timani indari sanatosha pole shanate la kendo sanitela konana tiasha. So Bree, first of all, is there anything that you'd like to share, and is there anything that the audience would like to share?
We've been getting really beautiful messages, that's for sure. There was some discussion talking about light language, just people, how they feel when they hear it or when they speak it. And just to share a few, people were saying that they just feel free. It's like they're like dropping the weight when they speak it, because they don't even know what it is. They just speak and it just falls. Like the stuff you don't need is just like energetic.
That's how I felt, like she was dropping this cloak. I kept seeing it falling away. So very interesting, and I got that visual.
Yeah. So that was kind of synopsis there of some of the discussion. And Deb herself had said, when I speak, it's almost like a relief. I can't explain the feeling. It's like it's been bottled up inside it. It feels so good to let it go, or to let it out. It's blissful. So that's kind of along the same lines. And Paula said that when she was listening to Sal, she said, what I felt is that Sal is releasing the blockages to take her power back. And Daniel said, sharing your personal family in maybe family internship. I don't know what internship is, like relationship maybe. It is very interesting and helpful. And thank you for saying that, Daniel, because that's not always something that we want to do, is talk about like our personal lives and where we are personally at and how things are and how it's been for us. But it is very powerful and moving. And Sal, I know that I think me and you are in very similar situations right now. I've been hiding. I dug a deep hole and I crawled inside of it. And and then I was like peeking my head out and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back in this hole. It's really nice in here. I'm like used to the dark, damp nastiness. So crawling out and seeing the sunlight and, just totally we're transforming. I've seen so many butterflies recently.
So have I. Oh my God. So
butterflies
many.
And dragonflies. It's been incessant.
And dragonflies.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, Bree, because this is something that Bree and I really feel passionate about. And I want, and I know anybody who knows me and my channel does too, but animal totems.
Yeah.
When you don't understand what animal totems are, animal spirit animals, we have animal totems that follow us throughout our lives, that are almost a part of who we are. They're like an archetype that we've decided to carry with us. Then there's also so you've got your spirit animals. Excuse me. I think I've got those reversed. So I'm feeling, okay. So your spirit animal, the ones that come with you for life, and I've got a few different ones. The wolf is one of them, and probably because that's my name. So that's just part of my theme. But for the butterflies, the dragonflies, every single day, I have actually been guided to be more verbal about this in my own videos, and even more frequent about the idea of getting this animal spirit totem information out there more prevalently, that when an animal crosses your path, any kind of an animal, it's a message. This is your universe, you guys. You guys are creating it. And these are every single thing you see doesn't exist until you see it. It's not really there. So when you say the butterflies, that's a symbol. Transformation, freedom, flight, colorful, showing your colors. Butterflies come in every color. So lots of layers of messages there, Bree.
Yeah, and they liquefy. It's not just like, I'm a tadpole and I'm gonna grow some legs and jump out of it. No, butterflies, the caterpillars liquefy into a complete.
And that's a complete transformation, right?
Become an entirely different species. It's just like, what? And it's symbolic for exactly, especially right now on the planet.
And that's why we need to look this stuff up, So if you guys are seeing butterflies, look up butterfly animal totems.
Yeah.
Look up because it's a message for you. Just like we all know about the repeating numbers. That's how I found myself as a light worker many, many, many years ago. As I was waking up, I was so desperate for answers and pain relief and physical. And I just wanted what I didn't have, and all of the layers of all of the things that means. And so that was one of the first things that came into my awareness was 1111. I've been seeing 1111 all my life, but yet it wasn't until I actually like Googled it that it said, oh, and I cried all day. I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. I'm a light worker. And this was back, many years ago when there was a lot less information than there is now. But it was because I recognized this higher version of myself. And how many of us, especially in this room, have said or felt, probably everyone watching, I know I'm here for something else. And then you'll hear, well, I belong out there. I was born out there. Yes and no. Yes, absolutely. But this is still, this physical reality is still where your consciousness wanted to focus in this now. And there's a whole lot of other layers that we don't have time to get into about the physics and parallel realities. And there's so many layers of this information. But the point is that the light languages help each of us connect to this information. So when you look up the numbers, you look up the animal totems, you are receiving information from your spirit guides, from the angels, from source, the pool of stream of information for you in that now. You exist. There is no linear timeline. We all exist all at once, all at the same time. And let's call the 1800s or ancient Egypt, we call it a time, a year, an era. It's its own universe. And it's still existing right now. You can go over there and live. This is what channelers do. They're literally tapping into that frequency of where that's what it's like to live. And this is really probably a very poor example, but I'm just trying to keep it kind of simple as I can. But the point is that these light languages allow us to activate within us new belief systems that once you recognize it, you realize, okay, wait a second. If I change that belief system, that completely unravels everything I've ever known, but it also opens up this new door to freedom that I've never known. So there's this unraveling process that happens in which we are literally, like the butterfly, Bree, dissolving into liquid, almost like into ether, the beliefs that we were carrying. And it physically almost like, sort of like it feels like it sticks to us, but really you're just transitioning into a new parallel reality is really what's happening. But it feels sticky and heavy. And so how many times, and maybe I speak from my own experience, but have you guys ever experienced where you have a realization or a new awareness about yourself that changes your belief system, but there's this mourning process that you go through, even though you know that belief system does not serve you in any way, shape, or form. It's like you're weeping, letting it go because you are so attached to it. And it's an integration. It's like taking an etheric shower almost. But there's a mourning process, and and you ask yourself, why on earth would I be sad about letting something go that is just not even a part of me anymore? It's like holding on to a piece of clothing that just doesn't even fit anymore. And every time you put it on, you go, oh my God, I hate this thing. And then you put it back in your drawer. So you can put it on again later and go, oh, I hate this thing. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, especially with, I think, like I've been going through that a lot recently, being shown time and time again, like, boundaries are essential in your life, and having boundaries with people and with how you want to structure things that fits your soul, what your soul is calling you to do, not like what people say you have to do.
Boundaries. That's really good, Bree, because a lot of people talk about dark energies and things like that. A lot of people will experience that idea that there's a dark energy with me. There's something attached to me. There's something. Now, remember, I want to say this as briefly and as curtly as possible. Nothing stays with you uninvited. You choose. You're in control every moment of every breath. That doesn't mean, however, that the experience isn't real and that that it does not serve you in that moment. But remember, you're still always in control, and nothing and nobody ever stays, nothing can stay uninvited, ever. So, but yet, like the mourning of the belief process, the belief systems that don't serve us, sometimes there's a process. How many times, and me included, God, me included, every day I will repeat a particular behavior that I know damn well is just not even because you feel it. It doesn't even fit anymore. Even when you say it or do it or go through the action, you're like, why am I even, why am I doing this? Because I know this is not good for me anymore. And so what you're feeling is that discord between you wanting to hang on to it and your higher self telling you, you're believing something about that thing that isn't serving you, and that you're, for some reason you're believing that you still need to hang on to it. But they're also saying that's okay. Don't. The more you fight it, the more you invite it. That's the thing, because your frequency is in the fighting of it rather than in the being of it not existing. There's a huge difference in that vibration. So it's just like the old, until I understood about vibration, I was focusing on the one thing causing me the pain. But what I started to understand was I was focusing on the pain. You know what I mean? It was like I wasn't focusing on the me being and doing the things I wanted to be doing and being free. I was focusing on, how can I stop this pain? Why can't I stop this pain? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not courageous enough. I'm not smart enough. What's wrong with me?
I've been do you know what got me through seeing myself on the first video was thinking this message is too important for me to get selfish about it and just hide, because I know I've got so much. When I speak light language is when I feel most free, and I feel selfish to not share that.
That's
because
so funny you said that. They just told me that today in the shower. When you set your ego aside and just put yourself into the I need to share this, the fear dissolves.
Okay, so I keep getting told I need to share my story how I've got here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so really it was in the summer last year I saw a face in the sky, and I thought I'd lost it completely. I mean, it was very clear to me. I could see a face. Just looking, checking out the land. I've lost it. And then I started seeing stuff about starseeds. I got drawn to reading. I watched a video, 7 Signs You're a Starseed, and that just blew me away. I didn't watch anything or read anything for ages because that blew me away, because I resonated 100%, and I thought, no way. So by the beginning of January, I was thinking, okay, so I need to think about this now. Is there life out there? It sounds completely logical that we're the only life here. So then something happened. I had a friend suggest to me that she was looking. She'd been watching astral travel meditations and stuff. So I thought, well, I'll try that. And then a blue being came to me, put his finger on my third eye. I felt a little pop, and then I was taken into space. I was like, whoa. I was taken back to a planet, and I was I felt home. It was so weird. I was surrounded by all these beings, and I've never felt that much love. It was amazing. And then I was taken privately with the person that had taken me to this planet home, and I understood what telepathy is. I always thought telepathy was words, but it's not. It's an emotional understanding. It's it's the only way I can describe it. It's an emotional understanding, on emotional on many levels. And it was explained to me. Yeah, we decided this together. I'm on a mission to save the planet, to save humanity, and I have to go back. And I cried so hard I didn't want to leave. The love there was amazing. But I had to come back, and I sat up in bed crying for ages. And I just thought, wow, what a wake up! What a way to wake up. So I find out not only that yes, there's life on other planets. I'm from another planet, but I have a mission here, all in one go. And I have loads of family out there. And I was like, wow. And then within weeks, I met my very good friend, Jimmy, who's become a mentor, friend, everything to me. And by the end of the first conversation we had, he was attuning me to Reiki. I think I always knew I was a healer. I always knew that's what I was here to do. So it's one of the things I do. And then he was guided to give me a link to one of Judy Satori's meditations. It was a Mary Magdalene. It was Mary Magdalene's. It was a journey to Amanti and Thoth guided to Amanti and everything else. And it was actually the first time that I heard light language. I'd never heard it before. But when Jimmy asked me, how do you feel about light language? I said, I don't know. I've never heard it, but I feel like I should know it. I don't know why. And then halfway through the meditations, I just started spontaneously speaking light language. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with it now? I was just like, I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it or anything. Loads of questions, and Jimmy said, just let it come. Just, he was so good with me, so patient, bless him. So yeah, I just quickly realized that it was about healing me, and then I'm not to, it's not just for me, it's for healing other people, and a lot more. I like language does so much. It's not just healing, it does so much. It unlocks DNA. I can bring back people's aspects, all their lost aspects that they've lost throughout all their lives, so that they can have them reintegrate them as soon as they're ready. They're sort of above them then, to just come back in. There's lost aspects that need to, bit of TLC, because they need a bit of repairing, a little bit of love, nurturing. And then there's other aspects that we've lost that simply because they're high vibration. And as through the lifetimes, the different things we went through, abuse and everything else, those aspects were just too high vibrational to be around the low vibrations that we became. So they're just there. I can bring them back. So they're just there, ready to come back in. As soon as we've raised our vibration high enough, they're there to just drop right in. It feels like a really beautiful thing to do for people, and I'm absolutely, ecstatic, to be fair, to be able to do this for people, and can't wait to get out there and do this for so many people. So I know I have to get myself out there and do it,
And that's why we came together today, because you guys need to get yourself out there. And yeah, I did. And I saw the note too about Dolores too, because I was going to ask her too how she came into speaking light languages as well. And I just came to speak it just by hanging out in one of these hangouts, just like this one day, several years ago. And then I was guided to start a YouTube channel, and really didn't know anything about technology or videos or how to make a video or YouTube or nothing. And by the end of the day, my guides had helped me make a video, post it on YouTube. Now, it was before I was behind the camera, though. I was not in front of the camera at that time. I was doing videos of nature and speaking light languages. And it took me a long time until I came out to my partner that I started being in front of the camera. So it took me a long time too.
Well, I met you on one of Mike Genetti's Zoom meetings as well. we met there as well. And that's where I met Dolores. And I remember when I met you, I couldn't stop looking at you, and I just didn't have time to interact then, and I was shy about connecting with you. So after a while, I kept seeing your name pop up as a suggested friend, like, it's come on, add her, you know. So I did, and then messaged you, like, I don't know if you remember me, you know? And you messaged back saying, of course I remember you.
Of course I remember you.
And with Dolores, it was so strange. I mean, it's where those Zoom meetings are where I started speaking light language with anybody else other than me, you know, on my own around the house. And it's where I started believing that I was speaking light languages. I wasn't just chatting gibberish. And the first massive thing that happened for me to really, really sort of make it sink in that how huge light language it is was the connection that I had with Dolores. We were talking on the Zoom chat. We'd just been talking light language because it's mostly light language chatting that we do on there. And we just suddenly connected, and we both got really emotional. And I said, I really feel like you're my sister. And she felt the same. And since then, we've worked out that we have been sisters on you know, other timelines. We are sisters. You know, it's we've had memories come back. We've, you know, been chatting on our own between us. We've had memories come back of our childhood together and holding hands, playing and stuff like that. It's so beautiful, really, really, really lovely. It's just such an emotional thing. But yeah, and then obviously the connections with you as well. It's just been amazing. Amazing.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that we haven't even talked about today about the connections that we've discovered. And I was going to ask Dolores too. So, how long have you been speaking light languages, Dolores?
Not very long, I believe. Something more than half a year. No, 7 months.
Oh, okay. So not very long at all.
Not very long.
And this is another thing I always wanted to tell everybody too, all over the world. You know, we in America take it for granted. We speak English, and you know, one of the things that astounded me is how beautifully everyone all across the world speaks English. So, and yet there's a lot of people, including Dolores, who, oh, my English isn't so good. And I think it keeps people from wanting to interact in these kind of things. But please don't let that stop you, because you know what, you guys, I'm actually almost, gosh, I feel humbled that so much of the world speaks English and that you all speak it so well and so eloquently, and you think that you don't, but you do. And it makes me feel really humbled. It makes me wish I would have learned other languages, because it was something that I was always drawn to as a child, was to learning other languages. And many people who speak light languages actually talk about that. As a kid, I really liked languages. I liked the idea of meeting people from all over the world, or going to archaeological digs, or just whatever, you know, singing in public. You know, I was in choir all my life, but I was petrified to get up on stage and sing a solo by myself. I would never, ever do that. Now, you know, I say I don't care, but then look at what, you know, that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of me that's still inside of here in my own throat chakra and my own solar plexus and my own heart chakra that I haven't let out yet because of worrying about what everybody's going to think. So, you know, so I get it. But so you're really, wow. So you just started speaking light languages right before the global gathering then.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Miwa tikara na malere tokona yata neketa. Vero kama yano toko hialara na horkentana na yehe. I was with Judy Satori's recordings, and one day I just had an impulse to sit and start to sing. And I took my drum, starting to dum-dum, and then some strange words came out of my mouth. What's that? What's that? I continued, and here I am. I want to share one of my experience, which is and carries a really, really a big emotional I don't know how to say, big joy. And I was with my friend, and I talked light language, and suddenly she started to talk. And I was so happy. Yes, I was so happy that I recognized that I am capable of bring to others possibility for them to speak light language. It was so exciting, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity, or that that capability of me, that I can do it, or better say that through me is yes that. And yes, when I met Salf, we met at the same way as I met Wendy at Mike's Genetics gathering. Yes, and the recognition was also similar, like with Wendy, and I'm really grateful for all of this.
Judy Satori, really?
Isn't it? I mean, seriously,
and
I
Sal.
can't believe it. All three
I
of
was
you.
listening to Judy Satori, and all of a sudden I started speaking light language.
So Judy
So
Satori,
funny.
even though I'm not even sure if I have to go look and see if I've ever actually listened to her or not. Because when I very first started waking up to all this, I was listening to every single person out there who was speaking light languages. Everybody I could find.
Yeah.
And there weren't that many. Wendy Kennedy, Vanessa Lamorte. I hadn't even found Yvonne Perry yet. I hadn't found Jacqueline Smith yet. Daniel Scranton. But the very first person I ever heard in the world speak light languages was many years ago in a Bashar event that was a little video clip on YouTube, and a young woman came up she was an audience member and walked up to the microphone and started speaking some clicking languagey thing, and said to Bashar, like, what is this, or what and of course his answer is well, what are you going to do with it? What does it mean to you? And I'm like, well, that's not an answer. So I was kind of irritated at his flip answer about the whole thing. And then, but something happened to me. Something literally clicked inside of me. And then I started to understand things about, and this is a whole nother thing, but I'm just guided to bring it up, is then I started to understand things about my connections to, I always thought I was connected to the angels, and but it started, all of a sudden the puzzle pieces started to fall into place about when he would talk about like the Sirius star system, or he would talk about Orion, or he would talk about hybrid children. There was a couple of women many years ago, Barbara Lamb was one of them, who came on as an audience member and asked him about hybrid children. Bridget Nielsen, also one of the ones in the audience who said something about, oh, am I a hybrid mother? And now look at Bridget Nielsen. So this is the stuff, how I came into all of this. And there are days when I'm thinking, gosh, there's so much more I want to do with this. There aren't enough hours in the day for me to do every single thing I want to do with these light languages. The people that we can help, I have volumes and volumes of this stuff, you guys. Start writing things. I have pads and pads and pads of these scripts, symbols, activations, and I've been encouraging people for years now, post this stuff online, because they're activating for people. And more you guys are seeing this on Facebook, and even on Google. There's more and more people doing these. There's more and more coming through, and the more of us that start speaking languages in general, it goes out there to everything. And every time it doesn't, it's like music. It's like a television program. It's still floating out there in the ethers. So it's just a frequency. It's a band. It's a number. It's a coordinate, if you will.
want
High
to say something if
frequency.
it's possible. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. About symbols and drawings and something. My sister told me, or she was telling me for years, start painting. I was drawing, almost only drawing. And when I started to speak language, I don't know. One day I went to the store and I bought so big, how to say in English?
Like a poster board?
No,
Canvas?
canvas, yes.
Canvas? I was going to say canvas first.
And I came home and put it on my wall and started to paint for the first time in my life. And so many symbols went through me. And then yes, I didn't paint before. I only draw before. And symbols and colors and those pictures are in my videos now.
Yes, she does a nice job, you guys. If you don't,
Yes,
I put the link to her YouTube channel in the description. She does a nice job of putting her symbols with her light languages and music.
And now I'm painting.
I have an easel and canvases and paints that are just waiting for me. Bree's seen my easel. It's still blank. It's sat in my studio where she and I did lots of light language hangouts and events. And I brought it here with me when we moved. And I just told my partner yesterday, I said, it's time. I've got to get those canvases because they're telling me the same thing. It's time to start painting this stuff and getting it out there in the world. And even if you don't give it away or sell it, that's not the point. It's doing it. It's getting it out there. And you know how many people say, oh my gosh, I really love that. Can I buy that? Can you make one of those for me? And so a lot of us are getting this calling now. And I call it a calling because it's this wanting to share so much. Like I use these symbols now in my private sessions for people. They're specific ones, come for specific people for specific reasons, just for them. And so we can do that with light languages. We can do that with videos. We can do that with these symbols. We use them. Brad Johnson's been one of the ones that I've first came about with a lot of these symbols. Wendy Kennedy was doing these symbols also at the time. So I was so enamored with this and I didn't understand what it was. And I still don't always, I really don't always understand. Is it me talking? Is it my soul family? Is it other aspects of me? Is it other, and it's all of that. It's all of that. Sometimes it's that, sometimes it's my guide. Sometimes it's other civilizations contacting us because we're tuned in, we're open. We're saying, I'm ready for other contact. And light languages, I believe, is a huge part of that, and why we are all so have this burning desire to share it with the world is because we know it's going to activate other people and they're going to get to experience the same things we get to experience. This is not a special thing, you guys. This is something, if you want to do it, you can. It's just whether it's a part of your journey or, some people are not even remotely interested in it. Even in the spiritual community, they're just not. It's just not what they're here to do. That's fine. But if it's something you're interested in, or then there's something inside of you that needs to explore it for whatever reason. And again, just like Bashar says, take your excitement as far as you can take it, moment by moment, until you can take it no further without expectations. How many times do we stop doing something because we're looking at what happens at the end? And if we don't have enough confidence in, oh, well, if it doesn't do this, then there's no point. No, that's a painter keeps painting and painting and painting and painting and painting. They don't wait to sell one painting and stop painting. They just keep painting and then hope that maybe somebody will love their work and buy their paintings. So it's about the passion. It's about the excitement. Do you know how many times I've drawn this stuff and sat and cried and cried and cried? I have no idea why. I don't know. How do I explain it? Am I receiving? Am I sending? Am I growing? Am I expanding? Is my DNA being enlightened? Is my electric? All I know is there's times when I'm just buzzing or I'm crying, or I'll look at it a year later. I was guided. What do I do with it? I was guided to show you guys one. This one. I have no idea when I did this. It's years and years old. Bree's seen it because it's old. So what I would do is, now today I was told throat chakra, flow, freedom, highest realms of understanding. I was kind of getting these ideas from it today. Now, like I said, this is my very first sketch pad, very first one. And some of my favorite ones that are in here are in my first one because
Wendy, I've drawn those curls before when I was like in school. I would sit and doodle, and I like exactly what you're showing. I would do that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah, like that. Like I would just create up like, well, this should go this way, and this one, how about it can go this way, and it can curl around, and it was just like little doodles, and I didn't think there was anything of it. Oh, is it sharing time? Oh, look at Sal. Wait, hold on. Let me put you up here, Sal. Oh my gosh.
Oh, there. See what I mean, you guys? How similar,
gorgeous.
and look how similar some of our stuff is in that we start.
Dolores. Wait. Dolores, what are you?
Oh, Dolores has some too. Yeah, let's share.
Look at all of those.
Ooh.
Look at all of
Many of them.
Yes. See what I mean? Okay, so what they told me was,
Dolores, the flip book effect is really cool.
Oh yeah, I like that. Dude. Yeah, it's like
the animation,
like a story. Yeah, where it's
that needs to be a thing. It is a thing now. It's on the internet forever.
It is a thing. People are doing that.
Thank you for
So
sharing.
what they told me was, and I would ask them too, I'd say, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? And they'd say, share them. Share them with people, put them out in the world. And then they said, every now and then they'll tell me, like my guides, my guides will say, go just open up your sketchbook, and I'll open it up to a particular page, and they'll say, all right, just let that sit out on your mantle. I mean, on your what did I just call it again? Anyway, let it sit out. It's almost as if every time you walk by it gives you something that you didn't get before. On my easel. Easel was the name I was trying to come up with. So they'll have me just sit this on my easel, and for a day or two or whatever, and then now again, I could ask why, and they would probably tell me why. Well, it's to activate you, or it's because of this, or it's because of that. And then I go, oh, all right. And then but the thing is now I don't even need to ask why. I just go, okay, I'll do that. So sometimes it's not even, you have to understand, when you create something that was never created before, it never existed before. What you just wrote on that piece of paper never existed before ever. It could look very much similar to somebody else's, but it's your signature, your vibration, your uniqueness.
Words create.
Yes.
Words create. And that's light language.
And that's light language. And so anybody who asks, I want to say something. What did you say earlier, Sal? Oh my God, it was perfect. It was like I wanted to add it to my own. I wanted to steal it. You said, light. How did you say that? It's an energetic understanding.
Yeah. About telepathy, it's not words.
Exactly. It's not words.
It's an emotional,
energetic,
and just an energetic understanding.
Yes.
Emotional energy. Yeah.
Yes. It's like, I don't know why it speaks to me, but it makes me emotional. It's like, and
you understand, so you just understand, and you can't even explain it.
And how do we talk with each other? So I do want to spend a few minutes too.
You can't even put it into words.
Having a conversation with each other. Because it's really, really powerful. And I don't want to talk on top of each other because I find that a little disconcerting. But I wanted to actually just have each of us kind of go back and forth just a little bit, because what I wanted to experience is having a galactic light language conversation so that people can see how you can actually know what each other's saying, but you really don't know what you're saying. You feel it. So I'm going to start with Bree, just because I was I was just guided to start with Bree. So
And I have to go in a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so if she's got to go in a couple of minutes. Okay, so well, then that's why I guess I was guided to start with you. I forgot you have to leave. So Miato sopa ila kasa to shomi ila kisa to so ila ki namorosha to sisela hila urmo kia le hira so posho no tikele ko to so polosha na kila kote seminana le kodo sono poso so posho na kila kio to so polosha na tela ida te puko kayenta sa kila kisa to posho na tela ito so kaya amora isho to sa haki sa mutosha uma kwa to so a kusho uma ashaka aso so suma shu uha mu amu akasa hato sono mu oso to shiname ale ko sono no ashaki welu gueshamade sono no ashoku wala himbugusa yushua hukwa motu shuna equala sotase semikile anto sabaliando so anko shachapi anto ko yasapa elko yapo into shapa anto ko yato tabali anto kakia into sapa into sapale anto yapato in shapale auto shabali yasoto anto ya into shaba onke yasasa itusa selko yashinatora.
Nint eretis ont aug eres aus henta haya. Ont hotik eres au ik is eret og ai isen ni to haya. Ne yo to ho haya ya tao ho teri ti to ka chiga ti ro no to a ikata to shiki hio so ko e ti ya tai to ya ha so e tao no he shi mo e yo shana na sikeri hisa aus ho shen he Shera hai hange hea soe. Ia hau kia ora hoso hoa nihi sao si shakasa hantao te hatao te si hisi nia sera nia sahera hanna hantoa nia huanna wishe nia rish ot ar andios oa manyo hua har isha nawa. Ia hau oneness ish out there in it sao he tia teosia ni here yes hisia shoa nia house he nia house I here he hoa han yo kayo so hoe.
Mia soto sami itasha na kiela kasino posoto shunate lisa na dikila kina iwa soto shewa. Likina te susapa suno posa mi tasha tashiana tate ilanina. Okay, I gotta get out of that frequency or I'm just gonna cry. So I was just picturing I shared one of our videos that we did yesterday with somebody, Bree. We were at my old house and I shared it with somebody. So just now I was actually thinking about the when we were walking through the woods and we were walking through the farm field and sitting outside in my backyard and making videos. And so it got really, really emotional for a second. So I was just like, yeah, we've been through a lot, me and this girl.
Yeah, we have, and it's so amazing, you know, meeting soul family and having the blessings and opportunities that we do have. None of us are alone, and we're gifted to the perfect people in our lives to bring us through this experience. And you know, and the perfect people, they might not show up like, you know, like what you would think. Oh, well, the perfect person needs to be like this and like look like this and have this. No, I mean the perfect people will show up in our life for every moment of what we're going through to help guide us through the best possible way. And we have to always believe that. I believe now more than ever that everything is a gift. Everything is a present and a blessing in one way or another. And it's our perception of it. I was just saying, I think it was yesterday, you know, and I've seen this going around, and I'm understanding it on a deeper level now. The prisoner can feel more free than the free man. based on his perception, based on his understanding of himself. He can be free in his heart, in his soul. He can be free in his mind. And most of us have been programmed to create our own prisons and live in them. And that's what all of this time's about right now, is breaking free from all of that, regardless of anything you've heard or anything you've been told. And again, I will say, I am still taking those bars and bending them and crawling out, and then I go back in, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, it'll be okay. And we just have to take these leaps of faith over and over and over. You know, my heart was really guiding me to make a decision that my human brain was like, why would you do that? And that doesn't make any sense. And, you know, you need to be careful. But you know, once I made that decision, within a 1 hour period, I went on a walk, I went to the park, and I literally could see the nature and the colors, and everything looked more vibrant. In my perception, it was like the vibrance of my reality had up-leveled. I had stepped into a higher dimension because my soul was asking me to make this decision for its own growth, for my highest good. And, you know, that was very powerful for me to make that leap of faith. And I think if your heart's telling you to do something, you got to go with it and trust. Otherwise, it's just going to be one level of just being upset and being in resistance and not feeling like you're actually living. It's one thing to exist. It's another thing to live, and to live from your heart. So I really so appreciate the opportunity just to be in this position in this way, and I can't wait for all the amazing things that are yet to come. And I still can't believe the synchronicity and hilarity of the fact that I'm even here with you ladies right now. And all that. There's like more to say, and I know we'll get to it later, but it's really freaking cool. I was like dumbfounded, like, what? This is happening, and I get to be a part of it. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Bree. Always thank you for your help. And she's always helping me without helping me with my technical stuff. So I always appreciate her knowledge and expertise in that manner too. And just having, you know, someone to actually interact with in a personal way. And for the first time, me being able to be privileged enough to have someone who, you know, there's nothing that feels better. And what Sal was saying, we feel so privileged and humbled to know that we're able to activate this in someone else. And yet it was so exciting when Bree did start speaking languages with me, because I felt like now we had something new we could share. And yet we also knew each other on a personal level where, you know, she knew my kids and my husband, and I, you know, I met her mom, and, you know, we had stuff and just experiences. And, but it was on a 3D level too, that we knew each other in a way. You know, 1 month she's watching me on YouTube and feeling like I'm completely, you know, just to meeting me. And the first thing is she's walking across the parking lot was, oh my God, I'm looking in the mirror. I felt like I was looking at my own reflection. And that's how I feel with you guys too. Both of you, all of you. I feel as if each one of you, when I met you, was like looking at myself in the mirror and seeing another fractal of myself and another part of me. It's like, that's how I feel when we meet. Like I just met another part of myself. And the love is so strong. It's like, how could I love this? Isn't it weird, you guys, too, how we could meet somebody and you feel this immediate love and connection, and yet you can't even feel that for yourself. It's really weird. I mean, like, it's like, I love you more than I love me.
That brings us more back into our unity, you know, our unity with all things. That's why, you know, I fully get what you're saying, Wendy, and I feel that too. And we're so blessed to just have these opportunities to be shown these different aspects of ourselves. And it's like, oh wait, we're the same. Okay, so like you got this and I got this, but actually we are one. and like we can tap into all of it.
And I got to tell you guys something too, for anybody who doesn't know this, and I've mentioned this before. Bree and I, as we started talking one day about our birthdays, we have exactly the same 3 planets in our birth chart, just in different places. Sagittarius, Taurus, and Leo. So it's just, they're just in different places.
I have to run, but I'll be
okay.
This is embarrassing. Okay, talk about making hilarious mistakes and then finding out later. This is like a test in resonance, I think, for me. I apparently I don't know what was happening when I was looking at my natal chart. Okay, but I swear
or did you get it wrong?
Seen my ascending sign as Sagittarius, and I recently found out that it never felt quite right to me. I recently found out it's Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
My ascending sign is Aquarius. And I thought that it was Sagittarius. I don't know what was happening.
Well, that's funny, but that's okay though.
Multiple times. Because I felt that, I felt like, wait, so I'm reading this stuff.
You're like, wait, that's not right.
Like, it's not sitting right. Yeah, so anyway.
But actually, that kind of makes sense. Because that's an air sign, and I'm fire, so the air fans the fire. So
yeah, exactly. The air fans the fire, and the earth, and all that stuff. So
well, I'm glad you got to join. I'm glad you got to join, and we're going to be wrapping up pretty in just a few minutes anyway. So I'm glad you got to at least be here for the duration. Well, and
I hope you ladies keep on going for a little while. I'm going to go watch this later on. I want to hear.
Yeah, we've got a few messages.
So I'm gonna peace out. I love you all. Thank you. I will see you later. Bye.
You guys don't have to go. Bree's just got to get going. So Miatosha, thank you for your help.
Thank you. See ya.
Can I say something?
And we'll do this again. We'll do this again with Bree again, and we'll do some more of these hangouts too. So now I got I had to open the chat on my phone so I could see everybody. So just for the last few minutes, since Bree's not watching anymore. So I was just looking at some of the notes. So I think what I'll do is, since we've just got the last few minutes here, I'd like to close out with some illuminations and some activations and some light languages. And I know that all 3 of us have some blessings to share. So I'd like to, I know Celine Starlight, aka Sal, is feeling some Maat energy, M-A-A-T. And for any of you who don't know who that is, I encourage you to go do a little bit of research. But the 3 of us here, all 4 of us, but the 3 of us here, and here we're in our triangle again, ladies. So here we are in our little triangle together. And so the 3 of us are very, very connected to the Egyptian energy. This idea of the ancient ones in Egypt and pyramids. And so I'm feeling this all of a sudden now, this very strong pyramid energy between the 3 of us. So, and Bree is also very connected to the pyramid energy. So, so I want all of you out there to just take a nice deep breath. And in these last few minutes together, we're going to send out some light codes, and we are going to convene, the 3 of us ladies here, us high priestesses, and we are going to convene in the Great Pyramid and the pyramids everywhere, and bring to you these symbols, these light codes, these activations. I encourage all of you over the next few days to get your journals out, get your canvases out, get your drawing pads, your sketch pads out, and just start writing words, feelings, emotions, things that come to you, ideas. You don't need structure. It will, the reading between the lines, the words will fall into place. So go ahead, Sal. Miatosha mi iwasha.
Thank you. Yeah, Matt is saying there is, she wants to give some codes related to returning to our own authentic truth. So Haurunek at hus marinakai, turnasat koset kanus mahatkuai, na mut ka anna hatkua, sut kahasut kanuat kai, on semerat kus amahanatkua, simia natuhatai, mene hatakusta, tikanat kueta, nimhatakasita, nuka hanna, numerat kus at husantia, tirana nuka hatakasatai suk at hanna, nimene hatakuas annot kea, minä hatakasatu ka annawa, nimma hatakasiat kan, minä nuk at ahasutua, nikanasai atarahana sutti ia, nimana tukata hasana, tursit kisina hatusarana, miena hatakus at sirana at anne, man hatakus anarasutka anhan, aniatka sen, et krahannutiki, annahantakus atarsin, en hatakus saiti it eran onnamalanettea, minä man hatakus sai, mean hatakus sai tua, minä ka at ohata, ukata, on hatakisita kai, arun siti at kasunner sikkatai no man hatai, orna sikati henanaksai, erhana sut kisitri hena anarsut, asarana sut anartukus anarmit, manakut at sait, kiran, murannat kahanno tua, tihta kahanna tuossa takai inna tai, miana tus at kai enna mai tua, murannana tukus ahata, tia nana mas at uhanna, tika hanna nut kai ina, nimaratuksana tikua, tursini ki ahana tika, tasarana tukahatakea, marana satitara sanotia, murninis atus annas atuko ennas, umanas tukai ana ut, as una, miena nut kan näin nonna mait una, surna sait, orsa uma.
Oma satishia wahala guapo sadeja hi wahala guambo hala hala. Mahalo hamo arako yata yagashana ewa. Thank you, Divine Sister, for bringing this trinary Tiaporia connection. Tiapo ilakoemba isato samia da halakoemba shinado halo. Connecting those who feel fragmented. Miasoto shamila. Connecting them with their body, their mind, and their spirit, reminding them that they are whole and they are one, and that they may experience the experience of separateness, separation, of fragmentation. Thank you for reminding them that they are whole and that they are one with the one, and that the light of source burns within them, and the magic that they are capable of is simply simmering, waiting for the cover of the pot to be lifted and the light to shine. And we thank you, Divine Sister, as we experience this connection along with you. And the love is great and pure. Amatia soda shanawa kalenda shira. Nera sono tolo shokwaka. Amanti Alea, Niawo Hishara Quambasonari Sati Andara Sewa Haluan Bako Nyara Sela Kiandara Sheko and Sana Salia Hukwambosha Ehana Nianana Kala.
That what is coming now are energies for grounding and for liberates ourselves to use our talents to express ourselves in our authenticity and to create a world for higher vibration. Ye matotoronka mania tekerana mananoni o mamamanningini anaranane ha momonia kitiran Iwama turukuto ani amomo nitarana kantana naneheo. Baba miyamono no to korona nahe miyane kentiana nanahe. Myoho tahe naharana nahe. Myohana ma myona kotarana nahe. Miyawam miyamono no kontarana nahe. Alad no kontumyarana nakenteya nanahe. Mawane kiono no tan tanalare hiya manene heya ya nete totokorn awama hatieno kantarara heya ye tie manoto ya nana ke tirana heya vahanta no toya mialarena kantana na haye ye no kon tarana heya myo mwana heya nane Vanyahana tarananahe, miahane, kiantana, natoronona, kenanaheya, matane, claranaheyo, vantananeheyo, vancantaranaheyo, vampon, ton, corananaha. Mawa kantahe, alaranahe, via kantehaya nanahe, vamma hantakananahe, Yahoro ramahantera karana, urra malaro kuntirana nehe, urra meherna kantarlerana ha, vera homomo karahane, lira hoyono kantarahane, ma wana kalarahiyo, ma wamantakorana he, erana keteya matarake, vahiana nahe, vahiana natohorana, vahiana nakehlarana ke, urra mahiono kanta, Yurra mahinta karnana he le anta mama manahe Avana mihorane kalarana heya amankantana hantakantana ehwana kantahantana derakantanhanana ke Eyawana, Mihiana na Hakantanana ye. Nakamata.
Thank you, Dolores.
Wow, you guys. Shuhatu hishamaliata saki. Woo! Shabiatu asaniawa. Washanaya. That was
Strong
extremely,
energy, yes.
extremely connecting and very strong, powerful energy. I was hearing you have summoned the earth and you have summoned the sky and you have summoned the air and you have summoned the water and you have summoned the ascended masters. For we are always with you and we are always standing near you. But yet it is in your asking that you feel us, that you feel the presence and the power within you of your connection to us, the information, the codes, the strength. You may experience being without power and being without connection and being without clarity. But it is simply that you may experience the divine elation and glory and discovering your own truth, and that none of that is true, but you are always connected. You are always pure. You are always protected. You are always clear in vision. And yet it is only in the polarity that you experience the joy of seeing your own truth and your own light. Naya kaya ninaya hi nonaya lo kunaya hana neru nonaya lo koshana helana hi lane Shuku Ana Mela gentle with yourselves, for you are children, discovering. Just as a child discovers its voice, its eyes, its nose, its toes, its joys, its discomforts. You are a child. Be gentle with yourselves. It is in your gentleness that you will find your strength, power to walk, the elation of running and feeling free for the first time. This is what you came to experience. Nuya shuna lea shunahi noru nilania tura shenayaka anoyana halana Nemi asoto shamiera hiendo sorisha hero saniariando simariano Eha ano diapo sonotarisha mariando guamanaya shadaya. Dissolving is the codependence on another for you to feel your truth and speak and live what you love. Niapo sanashia, no longer are you dependent upon the ideas of another, the opine of another. For anyone's judgment of you is simply their own experience, their own version of you. You are not your version. You are not their version of you. You are your own version of you. Each and every one of you sees the mirror in another. And often you do not like what you see, for it is simply a reflection of something that you do not wish to see or love about yourself. Accept and allow, and you will be in the flow, in the stream. Of higher dimensional understanding. For you are accessing your own higher versions of yourselves. Your higher self is a higher version of you. Non-physical. You created this physical body. Consciousness is not within you. This physicalness, this body is within your consciousness, and you have created an unlimited number of these bodies. You are more powerful than you will ever really come to understand in this frequency. But now, as you're beginning to access your light bodies and access the frequencies of all of the other aspects of you, non-physical and physical, you are able to now integrate this information in a way that you have never been able to before, and accept yourselves and love yourselves in a way that you have never before. This is the key. Loving yourselves in a way that you have never loved yourselves before, because then you can see that each reflection is a reflection of you, and you will gaze upon each and every part of creation with nothing but love in your eyes and your heart, and compassion and understanding, and a knowing, and a knowing. Yawande ashanoria leheloku senite se she shana salakoa. Mianonia satoshe. Miasonoshe wahalo amaria. Walk through this 1111 gateway and know that you already are lucky. You already are abundant. You already are free. You are courageous. You are strong. You are creators because you are love. Every strand of you is made of love. And once you feel this love and strum those strings of the harmonic chord within you of love, Fear melts away. You melt away. The you that you thought you were melts away and reveals the beauty and the light. Reveal. Revelation. This is your revelation. And we thank you all, these divine beings, for your presence, for the gift of your presence and your energy in this now is infinite and limitless. You are being congratulated, cheered, honored, for you know not who you are. Help each other remember. By you remembering, that is all you need to do. You remember. And everyone else around you will remember too. We are love and we are light, and we thank you for allowing us to share the gift of our presence, our frequency, our love and our light and our guidance with all of you, as you have shared so graciously with all of us and all that is. I love you all. It's 1, 2, 3 my time, so we went a little bit over. So I just happened to see 1, 2, 3. So that sounds like a perfect place. Neliaso Shaniata. Any final blessings from either of you guys today?
I want to thank you for having me, and thank you for getting me out here. You know, it feels really good. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Thank you very much. Asuma hat kosuret ki atarosuneti marasutka anahatka murias anekatisera tokus anarsik anarso.
The honor is equally as mine. And the gratitude is mine. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm really, really, really grateful for all of this and for gathering and for you, all of you. And Shashama Chitoshona Kante Shashalida Tankadaye Hetiona Nanaka. Mashane etu shun kilara nahanta yanakea. Mema nekitahane keteluramana. Love.
Love.
Once again, we are together for who knows how many times. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you all. Thank you.
I have to say, you know, when we were all speaking, you know, the light language, I saw us all together again. You know, like we said the other day, we were all together, all the three of us holding hands. That's what I saw.
Yes. And I was going to say that too earlier, that I was going to mention that dream that we've been dreaming about each other. And I wanted to mention that, was it a dream or a meditation where Dolores saw all of us together and we had all like really long hair, and I had long white hair and she had long yellow hair. And Sal had long flaming red hair. And we were all really, really, really tall in our long, beautiful gowns with our long hair. And we were so ancient. I saw her vision, and it was as if I was seeing us in our purest ancient, like I don't even know how to explain it. And there'll be lots more of these, you guys. So anytime you want to do them, let me know. Thank you all out there who, and whenever you watch this, this is your now. If you've joined us live, thank you so much for your love, your comments, your energy. any of you, if you want to speak light languages, please get in contact with any of us. All of our information's in the description. We're all just blossoming and blooming and just wanting to get out there and share this with everybody and help everyone who wants to learn more about themselves, learn more about light languages, learn more about how their own self-healing abilities, your connections to the stars, your star families, your hyper children, whatever excites you. Just let us know. There's going to be lots of more of these events as I have time and as we can get together, but on an individual basis, if any of us can help you guys in any way with, with any of this stuff, or just talking or sharing or communicating with someone who understands, that I think has been the most gratuitous part of this experience for me is not feeling alone, and that we are in this together, and that we've got a really big job to do, and to own that we all have a really big job to do, and it's okay. And it's okay to own that. And so go out there, be amazing, be creators, write, sing, draw, you name it, just do it. Go be you. And even if you don't do any of those things, it doesn't matter. Just you being out there and saying, I just want to be me. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be anything more or do anything more than what you already are. You're enough just the way you are. I love you. I love you. I love you. I could talk all day. Love you so much, you guys. And we'll talk really, really soon. Miyaso Toshamira, so you can find us all on here and Google, on Facebook. Join these groups. If it so excites you on Facebook to learn these languages, look us up, friend us. We're all out there. We're all one. I love you. Namaste. Mahala. Yasotoshe. Thank you, my divine sisters. Thank you, Bree. Thank you all. I love you.
Namaste.
Yasotoshe.
Namaste.
Lashanima.